Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, or if you've already been here before, welcome back. I just wanted to make some more Total Drama Sims for you guys, so that's what I'm doing here. As you can see from the title, I'm doing Ezekiel, Noah, Cody, and Harold this time, and I started with Ezekiel, just not for any particular reason, but you know, that's what I did. I gave him the successful lineage aspiration, the loner trait, music lover, and loves the outdoors. And let me explain. So, I know he gets eliminated from the show pretty early on, and so you don't really see him a whole lot, and you don't really get to know about his traits all that much. So they're a little bit like headcanon traits, but he is homeschooled. That is true. That's like one of the traits that he does have on the show, and so I feel like loner and loves the outdoors just feels right. And then music lover because I'm pretty sure he like raps later on in the show, which I could be wrong about, but I'm pretty sure it's him. Sorry, let me just sip some water. This is the third time that I'm recording this because I keep coughing because I don't know, my throat is just dried out. I'm having some allergies, I think. And this hair that I've got on him now, I ended up using this hair at different points for each of the guys because I like tried it on each of them and I wasn't sure each time. I'm pretty sure when I put it on Harold at the very end, I'm like, yeah, that's who I wanted to use this for. But yeah, at different points they all have it. Yeah, and if you're thinking that this Ezekiel is like too hot, just wait, hold your horses. He will become less hot. I wanted to do his brows and stuff first, but once I changed his hair, and his skin tone, I think he starts to look more like his show counterpart, and I adjusted his chin as well. To make it more accurate. All the characters on the show have these little tiny noses, and I had to like resist the urge to basically give them all the same nose, which is hard when they do kind of all have the same nose. But you know, what can you do? Um, he has this sort of like long straight nose, so I figured that's close enough. And then yeah, here I am like shrinking his chin and cheekbones 'cause it's like no, you can't look that chiseled. um he's got this sort of like high round cheekbones and like small Matt Groening style chin going on the show, but this is the closest I could get in The Sims. And then yes, I give him this sort of vitamin D deficient skin tone. And then yeah, tried to find a facial hair that was accurate. It's close enough. Um, and then when I put his beanie on him was when I was like, you know, I don't think that the hair that I've got here is the exact right hair. And so I went back, and ended up putting the mullet on him. That's from the paranormal pack. And that I felt like really tied it all together. Um, Perfect. And after I put the mullet on him, I thought that maybe I should make a more updated sim self than the one that I last made like months ago just for fun. Because well, I have a mullet now. I like cut it recently. Um, and my hair is curly, so it's not exactly like this one that we have in the game, but it is more accurate than the hair that I have on my current sim self, which is like the curly bob that's in the Strange Town pack. Oh my god, I totally just outed myself as a Sims 2 girly. My bad. I meant Strangerville. Um, we are like really lacking as far as like curly hair goes that's accurate to like what my specific hairstyle looks like, but also like I cut my hair myself in my bathroom, so maybe we don't want hair that looks like mine in the game. Anyway, yeah, and then for his formal wear, I obviously didn't put the beanie on him because I wanted to give him a little bit of credit. I figure he knows how to dress nice a little bit. And I put his hair in a short little ponytail, rather than this long braid. That was my mistake. Yeah, because that just felt more formal, I guess, than leaving it down. I don't know. And then for his clothes, I wasn't really sure exactly which direction to go in at first because I mean, for the more nerdy guys in this household, I would do like sweaters or jackets for their formal wear, but I was like, Ezekiel's not really a nerd, he's just sort of a weirdo. And so I went with this like quirky vest moment. And yeah, just some like normal slacks and boots. I did put boots on him because I wanted to give him, again, a little bit of like weirdness going on. He's not exactly a normal guy, even if he's not a complete dweeb like these other guys. um, I guess he is kind of a dweeb though, right? Because on the show, he's a misogynist, right? That's like why he gets eliminated the first time. Um, and then he like gets thrown into a volcano at one point. He gets turned like into Gollum. Oh my god. I keep forgetting to take out. Well, I guess I can't take it out. So, the tunic, the like fur tunic that you just saw on him. Let's address it. Let's address this. Um, so for fun, oh yeah, and you'll see all the various thumbnails that I have too for the clothes. For fun, I have a Stone Age save that I've been playing for quite a while now, and so I have a lot of like caveman fur clothes, CC installed. I've been playing in this save for like over a year now, actually. I am on generation 7 or 8, which I know with like most legacy challenges, you stop at generation 10, right? Like that's the point. You get to Gen 10 and then you're done. But I've been doing this history challenge for so long because, like, it's fun. I like to play for fun and not to be stressed. And also because, like, I don't know, I'm a bit of a completionist. And so when I see the list of, like, goals for your challenge, I want to complete all of them. And I'm realistic and I know that in 10 generations, I don't think that I would be able to do all of the goals, like each goal for each generation. I can't do that. I can't complete all the things I need to do for the Stone Age in just one generation, and so on and so forth. And so I've just been playing for as long as it takes, basically. Um, and you have to do the Stone Age twice because it's the longest period in human history. So like makes sense, but it's a little it's a little tedious. I've been playing as a caveman for like I said over a year. Um, I've had all this CC installed in my game for over a year, and it is well out of date. Let me tell you, I'm getting those MC Command Center error messages left and right. And I've installed some of it. It's not causing me like a lot of issues. There's a little bit of like flashing going on, but if that's the only problem, then like I truly do not care. Um, anyway, talked about my Stone Age Sims all the way through Ezekiel. My bad. Whatever. My Stone Age save is more interesting than his clothes. Anyway, here's Noah, and I gave Noah the Renaissance Sim aspiration. I wasn't sure exactly which one to give him at first. Obviously, I knew it was going to be a knowledge one. I just couldn't decide. Um, Renaissance Sim felt right though after I thought about it for a little while, and then I ended up doing Squeamish, Snob, and Bookworm for his traits because he gets eliminated pretty early too, obviously after Ezekiel, but uh, those are kind of the only traits of his that you really get to see while he's there. So those are the ones that I put, and then I went in and tried to find a hair for him, and you'll see that same quadrant hair. I don't use it for him either. And yeah, I ended up going with this hair instead. And then went to sculpting his face. And I spent the most time with him on his nose specifically. Again, like Ezekiel, they kind of all have the same nose shapes on the show. And so I wanted to try to make it fit, but also make it distinct enough that they look different. I don't know. I'm picky, and I like Noah's hook nose. I think that it's cute. I think that it's a distinct character feature that he has. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good feature to have. So, spent some time making sure that looked right. Went back in and adjusted his eyes a little bit more. Again, just for pickiness' sake. And then I do end up changing his jawline quite a bit because Noah has sort of a rectangular face on the show. Oh gosh, sorry. That was my neighbors outside slamming. Um, and so yeah, I ended up changing that, and I did give him a little bit of a frown. I gave Beth a frown in my last one too, and it's just because like in the picture, the reference picture that I used, she was frowning, and in the reference picture that I used for Noah, he was frowning. So I did turn down the corners of his lips there, just a little bit, just a little bit. And he is kind of like a nasty little pessimist on the show too, so it didn't seem out of character to do this. Yes, and I did shrink his ears. He has relatively small ears on the show. Everybody kind of has either small ears or big ears. It's just sort of the style that they're drawn in. And then, yeah, I sank his cheekbones a little bit, but not too much, right? Still wanted to keep that sort of square head look. Right, and then for his clothes, I ended up doing like a red and blue theme, you'll see after I finish his first outfit, just for simplicity's sake. For Ezekiel, I ended up doing mostly like green and brown. Oh yeah, and then I had to make sure that they were all skinny little guys because that's just how they are on the show. There's not a lot of body diversity on the show, obviously. A lot of the guys are super skinny, but I felt like specifically the four guys that I put in this household were gonna be little nerds, you know? So I made them sort of thin because they don't seem like the kind of guys to work out. And that's just how it is. Um, we also did cargo shorts. I don't remember if I've mentioned this already, but I do cargo shorts on them all at various points just because that feels kind of like a nerdy guy fashion staple. And that's not a read. I'm not making fun of anybody, but it's just that when I was in high school, the nerdy guys that I was friends with, they would wear like cargo pants and cargo shorts a lot. It's just because they wanted to have a lot of pockets, which is completely valid. You're totally valid for wanting lots of pockets. It's just that, yeah, that's just now cargo shorts, cargo pants. They remind me of like nerdy boy fashion. So that's what we're doing here. And for Noah's formal, I wanted to do sort of like a preppy, sort of polished kind of thing because he's that kind of nerdy versus Ezekiel's sort of like let's use disheveled, nerdy, outdoorsy, nerdy, that kind of thing. Um, Obviously, I had to use a graphic tee on Noah for his athletic wear, and then the pajamas I put on him, I found a reference picture, but I cannot tell you if it is canonical or not. I don't remember if you actually see Noah in his pajamas on the show like you do the other characters who are there for longer. Um, I don't remember if the one I used for Ezekiel's canonical either because I truly, honestly haven't watched like past the second season of the show. I can't even remember what they're all called past Total Drama Island. Um, when it was originally on TV, it was like a kind of a busy time for me, and so I didn't really watch it a whole lot. I watched the first season, but beyond that, not really. And so I cannot tell you if you ever see Ezekiel like in pajamas or not. So, yeah, who knows if those are accurate. And yeah, I put shades on Noah for his swimwear because he's the kind of guy to read at the beach, like definitely. Um, and yeah, kept it simple with the button up for the hot weather. And for his cold weather, I couldn't decide if he was like a sweater or a jacket guy, and so I ended up going with this one that's sort of it's both. It's a sweater and a jacket. And it's a pea coat, which like yeah, like I said, he's kind of preppy, so that felt right. And he's like he thinks he's like a cool preppy, and so I think that is important. And like I say, thinks he's a cool preppy. I don't think that Noah actually is very cool. If I remember correctly, he's pretty pretentious on the show. So that's why I gave him the snob trait, right? Obviously. And then up next we have Cody. And for Cody, he actually stays around on the show for a little bit while, like a long time, a little bit of a while. And so I have a little bit of a better idea of what his personality is like. So there is that. I don't know if he actually is a computer whiz or not, but I did end up using that aspiration for him because I wanted some variety in my nerdy boys in this household. And I don't know, also just for fun. So I gave him that aspiration, and then I gave him the bookworm, loner, and good traits because I don't know, those seemed like good nerdy traits for him to have. And also, Cody is good. He's a nice guy. A lot of his personality traits when they're not being used to like make jokes about him being like kind of a creep towards Gwen. He's a nice guy. Cody's a thoughtful guy. So gave him the good trait. And then went in on his face. And once again, right, he's one of the ones that I gave that same hair to, but I did a different middle part hair for him rather than that laundry day hair because it's just not right. Oh yes, and then his eyes, I ended up going with this like aqua blue color. His eyes are blue on the show, and this aqua blue is really accurate actually to the light blue color that they use for a lot of the blue-eyed characters on the show. Um, they use this sort of aqua blue color, and there's also some characters that have like a darker, more like I guess I don't even know how to describe it, just a more medium blue. Um, so yeah, he's got the lighter shade. And then his nose is really small and kind of round, so gave him a cute little button nose moment. His nose shape is actually more similar to the nose shapes that they use for the girls on the show, which is interesting. He's also like just like smaller than the other kids. But obviously there's no height sliders on in the game, so did not give him a shorter height, even though I would have if I could have. I forgot at first to give him his gap tooth, but I promise I do go back and give him his gap tooth after I remember to do so. You'll see I didn't give anybody pronouns except Ezekiel. Totally forgot. Can you tell my memory's not that great? Working on it. I'm doing my best. So yeah, and then gave him his tiny ears, adjusted his brows like one more time just to be sure that I had the right shape. He's got really thin brows, but I didn't want him to be too thin. These ones maybe even are. They look like they're like really plucked, but whatever. Good enough. Um, and then I kept his face kind of round, a little bit baby face moment, but I don't know, that's what Cody looks like. There it is. There's the center part of hair that I was talking about. And then for his clothes. So he wears this sort of like beige sweater on the show with a red and a blue stripe, but I don't have a sweater like that in my game, so I went with this white one. I felt like the button-up shirt underneath of it was more important than the color, so that's what we did here. I did end up doing like blue and beige sort of for the colors that I sort of defaulted to for him. Um, After this, but yeah, the button-up shirt underneath was more important to me. And then yeah, sneakers. I couldn't decide which sneakers to use. I ended up going with the brown Converse eventually after I tried literally all of the other ones. um, I don't know. I just didn't like the way that the other ones looked. And I know the color on those ones isn't quite right, but I don't know. It fit the vibe. Yeah, and here I am making him tiny because he is tiny. He's just a shrimpy little guy. Want to shove him in a locker, just like Noah. um, yeah, and then after this, for his formal wear, well, okay, yeah, get rid of the ugly fedora. Bye. Ew. Um, I wanted to put him in a suit, but I didn't want to put him in a nice suit. I wanted to put him in kind of like a dorky suit, maybe not the most fashionable one. So I went with the yeah, the powder blue tux moment. Just seemed right. Yeah, white socks and yeah, some dress shoes. Not the most fashionable, but still pretty cute. And then his pajamas. So Cody wears like a set of pajamas on the show. Um, but I wasn't able to oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Why did I think I did the pajamas first? These are his athletic clothes. My bad. He does wear a set of pajamas on the show, though. I guess his athletic clothes aren't that important. I'll just tell you. That I wasn't able to like entirely recreate, but it's close enough. It's close enough. The colors are there. The shape of the pajamas is there. I almost went with this tiny living one piece set, but then I thought that the button up, that space game and the like base game pajama pants were a little bit more accurate. And they're also like kind of baggy, which I feel like is an important Cody look. Let me sip some water before I cough again. Mm. Oh yeah, and then the Hawaiian shirt. So I like put this Hawaiian shirt on him. Well, obviously he randomized with it, but then I liked it, and so then I changed the swatch and I put those cargo shorts because I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what like any of the nerdy guys that I was friends with in high school would wear to a party. Like literally exactly that outfit. Ah, obsessed. And then yeah, for his swimsuit, gave him this like brown and blue swatch of these trunks because I was like, oh, perfect, perfect colors. And then for the warm weather fit, I couldn't decide like exactly what kind of t-shirt I wanted to do for him, but then I thought this collared shirt was nice because it's got stripes, and I feel like stripes, it's like that's very Cody. So there you go. And then yeah, of course, more cargo shorts. Cargo shorts all the way down. Oh yeah, and then so for his cold weather, I was trying to picture because I feel like in my heart I remember seeing Cody wearing like a snowsuit or something on the show. I could be completely wrong. I could be imagining it. I could be thinking of a different character even. I have no idea. I couldn't find a picture of it, what I was thinking of, so I very well could have just imagined it, thought it up myself. But I ended up putting him in this like puffy snowsuit deal, which I did one for Ezekiel as well because he's like an outdoorsy guy, and I thought that made sense. But I also thought that like Cody's more concerned about staying warm than he is about looking cute, and so that's why I put him in a snowsuit. And I'm pretty sure I did a snowsuit for Harold as well, for the same reason. Oh yes. Okay, yeah. And then Harold is last, which I will be honest, I had a blast with Harold. He was so fun to do. He's one of my favorite characters. I did the Renaissance Sim aspiration for him because he's all about skills. We got the dance machine trait, geek trait, and self-assured was the one that I went with last. I almost did goofball, but then I thought about it for another second and I thought, no, self-assured feels more right for Harold. He's obviously, I mean, he's like a Napoleon Dynamite type thing. So type thing, I say. Oh my god, that's not what I meant. I mean like he's like a parody. He's a reference. Let me be specific. Let me use my words. He's a Napoleon Dynamite parody. And so, you know, Dance Machine, worried about building up skills, that all seemed pretty good to me, pretty accurate to the character. And honestly, this sim that I was given randomly, I was able to make into not a sim that looks necessarily like Harold, but almost like a cross between Harold and Kip Dynamite. Not Napoleon, but his older brother. And I don't know, it just really worked for me. It worked for me as a human Harold rather than a cartoon Harold. Napoleon Dynamite is actually my favorite movie. Fun fact. I am planning on doing a video about it mm, on my other channel at some point. I don't know when. Eventually, let me look at my. So it's on my board actually. I I have an idea of one. So it's gonna be in. So the next video I'm gonna do is obviously the Family Guy video. I've talked about it briefly, and then after that I'm gonna do another King of the Hill video. Which obviously, if you only watch me on this channel or listen to me on this channel rather, um, you don't really know this, but I make video essays, and recently I did a semi recently, a couple months ago, I did a video essay about the first season of King of the Hill. So after I do my Family Guy video is when I'm gonna put out my second season of King of the Hill video, and then after that I'm gonna do, if all goes according to plan, Reba, which is an old AMC sitcom. It was probably on another network at some point too, but that's where I associate it with. So that's fun. Yes, the Reba McEntire show. And then after that is Adventure Time. And then after that is another Family Guy video. Wow, okay. I'm like looking at all of these, and I guess Napoleon Dynamite's not going to be for kind of a while unless something happens. Because that's the thing, is that if I really wanted to, I could just make a Napoleon Dynamite video like today. Well, I mean, not literally today, but you know what I mean. Like I can just like sit down and make a video about Napoleon Dynamite with very little preparation because it's my favorite movie. And I have seen it so many times. Obviously, I don't want to do that. I would like to make a good video if I'm going to make a video about Napoleon Dynamite because it's my favorite movie. Um, but it's also, again, it's one of those movies where I could just like make a video on it whenever I wanted. So if something happens and I'm not able to do, say, like Reba when I plan to, or even Adventure Time when I plan to, I could just bump Napoleon Dynamite up in my schedule and then that's what it would be. Um, hey, I'm at a point now with my, oh, there I am giving Cody his gap tooth. That's so funny. Let me pay attention to the Sims I'm making really quick. Yeah, so Harold does wear glasses. I couldn't decide at first which glasses to put on him. I tried these ones, and then when I switched to doing his formal wear, I ended up finding a pair that I liked better, and you'll see that, and I ended up going with those ones. But we start with these ones at first. I make Harold super thin, just like I do the other boys, and there's only one layered shirt that I have. Ooh, sorry about that. I only have this one layered shirt, so that is what we went with. And he wears these like green, I don't know if they're like cords, if they're jeans, I have no idea, but I ended up putting like green jeans on him because that felt like it looked right. I don't know. He also wears these like big clunky sneakers, and it was kind of hard to find ones that look exactly like the ones that he wears on the show, but I did end up going with some like blue ones, not these blue ones, different blue ones, but I tried every single blue sneaker before I went with the ones I wanted. mm, yeah, so that is what happened with that. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, these university sneakers were the ones that I went with because they looked chunky enough with also being the right color. Oh yes, and then this is where I was like, wait, these glasses are better actually. Let me put these glasses on for all of his outfits because they're better. The glasses that Harold wears on the show are like tinted green, but we don't really have any glasses in the game that look like that. I mean, you might, I don't. So, went with these ones that are untinted instead. And if you think it's weird that he's a redhead with dark colored eyes, I don't know what to tell you. He has dark colored eyes on the show. Also, that happens sometimes. I know quite a few of them. So there. Um, I put him in shorts and no shirt for his workout gear, but long socks because I feel like Harold thinks he's like a ladies' man, but he also dresses like a dweeb. So, shirt off because you want to get the ladies' attention, but he's not gonna like dress nice. um, he also wears like a pajama set on the show, and it's so maddening because we have pajamas for toddlers in the game that look exactly like the pajamas that he wears on the show. He wears these like brown and orange cowboy print pajamas. And we literally have those for toddlers and only toddlers. It's so maddening. It's so maddening. So I don't know. I just made up some like brown and orange pajamas for him because whatever, who cares? Oh yeah, and then I went through and I like put his glasses on for all of his outfits because I was tired of having to go in and out and in and out to put them on. So yeah, really annoying. And for his party outfit, this was another moment where I was like, Harold thinks he's a ladies' man, but he's not. He's Harold. So what would Harold wear to a party, right? And this was kind of my same idea with his formal wear, where I put him like in a nice suit because that just is what Harold would do, and also Napoleon Dynamite, obviously. Um, but I was very indecisive with this one, and I ended up going with this like knitted jacket moment. I almost went with the 70s style jacket, but that just I don't know, it didn't seem like a Harold vibe. If I was making a Napoleon Sim, that's what I would do. But this is Harold we're talking about. So went with this knitted sweater instead. And then the same green jeans and sneakers as before. And there I am double checking. I have the same sneakers, which I didn't, which is why I double checked. You see what I mean about my memory being terrible? It's just awful. And yeah, he's a known Speedo wearer, I'm pretty sure, on the show, so I did that. And then for his hot weather, I just went with a t-shirt. I wasn't sure exactly which t-shirt I wanted to do. I did use this one with the headphones though, um, in the end, just because Harold beatboxes. That's like one of the skills that he has, right? And I gave my Harold the dance machine trait, which I'm pretty sure he dances on the show as well. That's not just me like imagining Napoleon related traits, I think. Um, so I don't know. The headphones seemed right. And, you know, more cargo shorts, obviously. Everybody, you get cargo shorts, you get cargo shorts. Everybody gets cargo shorts. Um, and yeah, put his big old sneakers on him because he's not gonna go anywhere without the sneakers and socks too, because obviously. And then yeah, I put a full snowsuit on him as well because I feel like he's just as concerned with staying warm as Cody is. And yeah, at the end of the day, it would just be Noah out there freezing in the cold Canadian winter in nothing but his pea coat and hoodie because he wants to look cute. And the rest of his boys are warm in their snowsuits. Yeah, and then I named their household Incels, which is a joke. It's a joke. I promise it's a joke. It's funny. Laugh with me. Okay. That's it. I hope you guys liked it. If you want, you can download them on the gallery. I'll put my gallery name in the description. It's Lola WRDN 449. I also have some Duncan and Courtney Sims up that I haven't fully made a video for them yet, but they're there on the gallery if you are interested. If you want, you can check out my essay channel. Subscribe to me there, subscribe to me here. Leave me a comment and tell me if you want me to show you my caveman Sims. All right, thanks. Oh, and give the video a like. Okay, bye.